So thank you for joining us. I think this is super interesting because I don't remember the last time I went to a library. I don't know if most of you remember, but what I do remember is that I had a lot of fond memories kind of growing up in the library. I don't know if that exposes me as a super nerd, but it's a pretty special time, like growing up. And then I think there's an opportunity now to bring it back to life in a different format. So I'm super excited to have Graham here. And Graham, you know, one of your presentations, I think I have the title written down that I saw was Small Budget, Big Impact. So maybe that'll be the theme for the day. We have some people here who work for nonprofits or charitable organizations, and they're trying to figure out how do we use content to drive donations. And it sounds like that's one of your goals as well. The question that was posed on Twitter was, could we think of it as the same way as measuring a conversion or a purchase for a for-profit brand, you know, using content to get people down the journey and then make a donation? Is that how you think about it?
I think of it exactly like that. So we have a content strategy at the British Library, which is, you know, when you boil it down, called owning the domain. You know, we want to own the domain in particular areas, and we can talk about those in a second if you like, but they're kind of predictable when you think about it. English literature, we want to own the domain of English literature, medieval history, and so on and so forth. And to us, that means a top three ranking. So we're aiming pretty high on this. You know, we want to be up there, right behind Wikipedia. Even, you know, there have been times when we've even been in front. You know, Magna Carta anniversary year in 2015, we were number one for Magna Carta search terms, key ones. But, you know, generally speaking, top three ranking. And when we achieve that, and we have achieved that in certain areas, then we're looking at the conversion funnel. And that's where we want to see work on our kind of e-commerce techniques, conversion rate optimization, multivariate testing, all of that stuff, to see if we can push those people that are coming to us for medieval history or English literature into making a donation, buying a ticket, or buying something in the shop.
You may be surprised, but I think you potentially have a more sophisticated digital operation than a lot of for-profit kind of commercial brands here. I love it, and I think it applies to everyone, the concept that you talked about, owning a domain. And you've set yourself some targets that are very ambitious, and there's no reason, you know, I'm thinking about Giuseppe's presentation from earlier, like they can own the domain of IoT or data center and have the similar sort of goals, like top three. Like it's actually, I think, translates quite well to all sorts of organizations.
I think it's possible to translate it as long as the key thing is credibility. There's no point in setting out an ambition to own the domain of something that is just never going to be credible. Now, the British Library, we're not going to try and own the domain of science, right? We're just not going to try and compete in that. We might pick some tiny little bits because we have a huge STM, Science, Technology, Medicine collection, and there are probably little bits of the British Library's collection that are fantastically strong, and we have experts who are fantastically strong in science, but we're never going to try and own science. That just wouldn't be credible. So the key thing is being credible.
I'm laughing because, I mean, obviously as a content marketing company, I've probably seen hundreds, if not thousands of content strategies, and often I do see domains listed that seem aspirational in nature and sometimes unrealistic when it comes to credibility. Like, we want to own love. Like, really? Like, or we want to own snacking, and it's like a candy brand. Like, we want to create a relationship with people and own snack. And sometimes, like, people don't want a relationship with you. They just want to buy candy.
Yeah.